minutes.
But the director doesn't know that.
Well, tell him.
Some people think that speaking like Denzel Washington means copying him, and you have to have perfect grammar or perfect vocabulary. But no, it's none of those. There are 4 main aspects, what we call moves, of Denzel Washington that I'm going to teach you in the next 8 minutes. And you'll be able to transmit your confident thoughts into words like a leader. And here's the part no one tells you. You don't need advanced English to be able to do this. Watch what happens when the world's most respected actor receives a compliment.
4 beautiful children, and she did a great job. Well, Dad was off working. She did the heavy lifting. So she's...
Freeze. Listen to it again.
4 beautiful children, and she did a great job. Well, Dad was off working. She did the heavy lifting. So she's...
He doesn't say, thank you so much. He doesn't say, no, it was nothing. He takes the compliment and hands it to someone who earned it with him. The credit travels. That's the move. It's called the redirect. And it's what separates people who receive praise from people who get bigger when praise arrives. And notice the phrase he reaches for. Heavy lifting, an idiom. It means the hardest part of the work. He could have said she helped a lot. But heavy lifting makes her work physical, real, and visible. When you credit someone in English, this is the phrase natives say. She did the heavy lifting. Now it's your turn. Next time someone congratulates you, at work, anywhere, try it. Say, honestly, Maria did the heavy lifting. Or, to be transparent, my marketing team did all the heavy lifting. Move 2 is invisible until you see it once. Then you see it everywhere. Denzel tells long stories, and sometimes he wanders, meaning he kind of goes out of the point of the story, but then he jokes about it.
She didn't say you're gonna make, movies, you can make millions of dollars and all that. Make a long story long, 1982, I was filled with the Holy Spirit.
The quick teaching moment? The real idiom is to make a long story short. It means, let me skip to the point. But Denzel Washington puts it upside down. He says, to make a long story long, what he's telling you is, I'm taking my time and I know it. So when you can take an idiom and break the rules of that idiom on purpose, that's not vocabulary anymore. That's actually identity. Move 3 is my favorite because it's not about how he talks, it's about how he corrects others when they use weak language. If you're a leader, this is essential. It's important because if you have a team or a teammate or a coworker who says things like, oh, I'm so dumb, or my English is bad, it's your responsibility to correct that language.
About it.
Yeah, the problem I have now is that, I'll
First of all, don't say the problem I have.
Oh.
Right? You're
Yeah.
already starting in a negative space. What do you mean the problem you have?
Someone calls their situation my problem. He stops them and says, don't say the problem I have. Language isn't decoration to him. The words you choose about yourself become the self. Change the sentence and you'll change the story. Your turn. Next time a colleague says, the problem is, offer them a better sentence. Very quickly, if you're someone who feels fake when you speak English and you don't feel like yourself, like you're wearing a mask, and people don't know the real you, I created a free tool. It's only 2 minutes. It diagnoses your identity, asking you a few questions, and it shows you where your English is at right now and what your identity could be. Click the link down below to access it right now. Last one, and it's a secret about every great story you've ever heard him tell.
One thing I made sure we changed right from the start. I said, this guy doesn't die in the worst way. No, it was written that he lived. I said, no, I can't do the part like that. The only way I can justify living in the worst way is if he dies in the worst way.
Right.
You know, it wasn't an accident that I wanted to, when Ethan grabs me and punches me in the face and I crawl on the floor like a snake and the whole neighborhood turns against him and then he gets his brains blown out. I wanted all of that. Then I could be the nastiest guy in the...
Now watch this. Different interview, different year, same story. Almost word for word.
Day was the wages of sin is death. I had the end of that film changed. In order for me to justify living in the worst way, I had to die in the worst way. He died in a very small way in the script. But I purposely wanted him to be knocked down on the ground and crawl like a snake. I purposely wanted everyone in the community to turn on him, and I wanted him to die in the most violent way.
This isn't improvisation. It's rehearsal. Denzel Washington practices his best material. So did Tom Hanks in our research. So does everyone at the top. Read that again. The most natural sounding speakers in the world are prepared. So no, speaking like Denzel Washington was never about perfect vocabulary or copying him. No, it's about implementing these 4 moves we learned today. 1, when someone gives you credit, accept the credit, but also make sure that you show and you tell them why that happened. You give the credit to someone else by using the phrase, they do all the heavy lifting. If you digress in the conversation, if you step outside of the conversation, make sure you announce when you come back. Okay, so where were we? 3rd, you learned that in order to be a good leader, you need to correct weak language in your team. And 3, if you have a personal story that you want to tell, make sure that you practice it and you rehearse it so that it sounds natural when you do it. That's not grammar, that's identity. And that's something that you can learn. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Fluency identity tips. And if you want to take the Fluency Identity quiz, it only takes 2 minutes to find your Fluency personality. Click the link below and it'll take you there right now.